Hello everyone, happy Daytona 500 week, but as NASCAR starts their season, the Piston Cup Series season is winding down and the sun's getting real low. It's the second to last race of the season. It's at Symmetrical, Texas for the Buckee's 500. Taking a look at the bracket here, all you have to do is beat the driver you're up against this week, and you're one of the final four drivers that will compete for a championship at Indianapolis. Let's see where they're starting here today. Mike Hunt has never won a race in his career, but he starts on the pole here today. Can he get his first career win for himself and his team? But he's going to have to go against starting fourth here today, Ryan Reynolds, the Daytona 500 champion, trying to lock himself in the next round in Indianapolis. He finished second place last week at Pyongyang. Starting second place on the outside of Hunt, it's Walter White. He won last race at North Korea. He's now officially the winningest driver in Piston Cup Series, but he still hasn't had a championship. He avenged his teammate Ehrmantraut, who blew his engine at North Korea and got the win in honor of him. But now, can he get a championship for himself? And Walter White's opponent here today, starting in third place, is the rookie Oppenheimer. He's got one win this season at Australia. Can he get another one here today at Texas? And can he defeat the veteran Walter White to gain the championship? It's a tough climb for Oppenheimer. Starting in fifth place is our defending series champion Homelander, but he's going to have a difficult task here today. Last season at Texas, he flew into the catch fence and got stuck in it. One of the most horrifying wrecks in series history, but can Homelander redeem himself here today? But he's going to have to go up against, starting in eighth place, it's Vaughn Riley. He won a race last season with Crosshair Petronas Patriot Racing. They have not won a single race since then. Can Vaughn Riley finally end their streak here today and also defeat Homelander? Starting in sixth place is the Lightning McQueen, one of the best drivers in series history with 3 wins. However, last season, he came to second place to the man on his inside, Homelander, and lost the championship. He's trying to get redemption here, make it back to the championship, and this time win a championship. But the man he's going up against this week is starting in seventh place. It's the GOAT, LeBron James. This week is truly a battle between two titans. It's lightning versus my sunshine. It's an unstoppable force versus an unmovable object. It's two GOATs, McQueen versus LeBron, going head-to-head here today. Now, even though this car is out of the playoffs, we do want to report on the 3 car. Mike Ehrmantraut, as you remember from last week, led a ton of laps. He led the most laps at North Korea. Then his engine blew, and he retired from the Piston Cup Series. Los Pollos Hermanos Racing has been looking for a replacement for the rest of the season, potentially into Season 3, but we'll see on that. It's Sergio Bell, the winner here at Texas last season. Can he repeat that here today? Win a race and maybe come back to the Piston Cup Series? Sergio Bell was on Big Dick Randy Racing, but then earlier this season, they were bankrupted after their owner invested way too much into crypto, and Sergio Bell has been without a ride for the rest of the season. This is his shot at maybe getting a seat next season for Season 3, impressing teams. Maybe Los Pollos Hermanos Racing will sign him. This is his chance to maybe stay in the Piston Cup Series. Now, before we go to the rest of the starting order, let's hear the command. And I hear it's going to be all right, all right, all right.
All right, all right, all right. Gentlemen, start your engine!
This season started over a year ago. We had over 40 drivers trying to make a championship. Now there's only 8 left as the pace car comes in. 8 drivers left for a shot at the Piss Bowl, who will be racing for a championship in Indianapolis as the green flags fly for the Buckee's 500 at Symmetrical, Texas. Hunt out to an early lead here as we enter turn 1. All the drivers on that bottom lane, except for Walter White and Ryan Reynolds, are getting left up to drive that high lane. Now Oppenheimer side by side with Hunt is for the lead already as they're exiting turn 2. Look at that sunset and that lag as they go on the backstretch. Homelander trying to make it 3 wide for third place as they go through the backstretch. Oppenheimer and Walter White going against each other here today. Now Homelander getting in the middle of this battle on the inside of his teammate Oppenheimer, trying to track down Walter White and Hunt. LeBron James behind them. As we complete lap 1 here from Texas, Hunt will lead lap 1. Going into turn 1 now, Oppenheimer side by side with LeBron James. He briefly passed Walter White, his opponent here today, but he's just losing more and more positions as Homelander's making it 3 wide for the lead. Already on lap 2, it's 3 wide for the fucking lead. LeBron James making it 4 wide, it looks like, and Walter White and Hunt will block Homelander. LeBron and Homelander on the bottom lane. Hunt and Walter White on the top lane working here together. Now Hunt is going to go to the lower lane and banning Walter White. Nope, now he goes back to the high lane. He's switching between the lanes rapidly as we head to lap 3. Can Hunt defend his lead for Walter White and Homelander, the 2 veterans going up against Hunt? All 3 of them are veterans. Hunt has still not won a race, but Homelander is on the inside of Hunt. He doesn't care that Hunt's looking for his first win. Homelander is trying to win his way into Indianapolis side by side for the lead. As we enter turn 3, Homelander on the inside of Hunt. Everyone working with Homelander on that bottom lane. Oppenheimer way behind them there. Entering turn 4, and there's a caution already out. Homelander will take the lead from Hunt, but there's already a caution in this race. Let's take a look at it. Entering turn 3, and Willie Nelson on the bottom lane makes it 4 wide. There's not enough room here. This is going to end in disaster. Entering turn 4, and Willie Nelson is going to get turned by Jay Schlatt. He wrecks it for the field in an urban drought, and there's wrecking behind them. Willie Nelson survives that wreck, but let's see who wrecked behind him. Here's the aerial view. 4 wide here. Not enough room between Willie Nelson, Cockass, or Bell, and Hamlin as Willie Nelson just gets turned. Not enough room. And he just causes a chain reaction there. Let's see what happened down there. That's a very terrifying view for Doof. 4 wide in front of them. Cockass turns Willie Nelson, and Gustavo Fring turns Doof and Queso. Let's see what happens in Gustavo Fring. So Cockass will turn Willie Nelson, and that slows down Jay Schlatt. Jay Schlatt comes up, sends Gustavo Fring up to Doof and Queso, and there's just nowhere for them to go there. Another view of the wreck here, 4 wide in front of Jay Schlatt, and he's going to have to try to avoid this upcoming wreck. Nelson gets turned right in front of Jay Schlatt, and he turns Gustavo Fring and nowhere to go there. He's trying to avoid the wreck. Jay Schlatt gets through the wreck, but it's not without some damage, as he did accidentally turn Gustavo Fring, but he gets through the wreck and he'll survive this race. Another view of this wreck. Cockass in the middle, 4 wide. Nelson on the bottom. Bell right above him. And there's just nowhere to go. He turns Willie Nelson. He gets turned himself. But he is going to survive the wreck despite being in the middle of 4 wide. Here's Lewis Hamilton, that new Marlboro car. 4 wide. He gets turned into the wall. And he's going to get through for now. And they wreck right behind him. Gustavo Fring behind Jay Schlatt, behind this 4 wide racing here. And Gustavo Fring is going to get front row seats to the chaos in front of him. Willie Nelson gets turned there. Some smoke right behind him. Gets contact with Jay Schlatt. And then he gets in the Duke, gets in the wall, gets into Queso, and Fring stays worse. And we're back at Texas. Hunt on the top lane, Homelander on the bottom lane. Homelander trying to hold on to this lead, try to win the race he flew in the catch fence at a season ago. Hunt trying to regain a lead and regain his shot at his first career win as we go to the green flag here from Texas. On to lap 8, side by side between Hunt and Homelander for the lead as they enter turn 1. Homelander will hold on to the lead. Now Walter White drafting with Oppenheimer and Homelander in the bottom lane. LeBron James up on top lane, drafting with his teammate Hunt. White and Oppenheimer on the bottom lane. Hunt's going to hold on for second for now. He goes past Walter White, abandons his teammate LeBron James. LeBron James getting hung up to drive from his teammate there, but he helps him hold on to second place. LeBron's now side by side with Oppenheimer. Walter White now goes to the inside of Hunt into turn 1. Side by side for second place between Hunt and Walter White. Going through turns 1 and 2. Walter White trying to get back into second place, trying to get back-to-back wins here. He won last week at North Korea. Can he get another win here today? But LeBron James and Hunt drafting together to go past Walter White. Now LeBron James goes the inside of his teammate. Side by side between the 23-91 teammates. So LeBron James and Hunt, and LeBron abandons his teammate. He gets to second place. Now Hunt is the one who's getting hung up by his teammate as Walter White and Oppenheimer go to the inside of Hunt into turn 1. Hunt gets abandoned by his teammate. He started this race in first. Now he's falling to second, now third, now maybe even fourth, as Oppenheimer is side by side with fourth place Hunt, and Hunt with a big burst of speed there, side by side with Walter White for third. And now Oppenheimer gives a front row action to this. Walter White and Hunt side by side for third place. Oppenheimer up against Walter White this week, but he's drafting with the driver he's up against this week. He's drafting with him. Now Oppenheimer will get into fourth place. Hunt drops to fifth. Now Oppenheimer is going to try to find a way to pass Walter White if he wants to get the next round of the playoffs, and he is. He's going to go to the inside of Walter White, the driver he's up against this week, side by side with the playoff spot in the championship race on the line, and Walter White will hold on to third place. Hunt now trying to capitalize on it. The Oppenheimer for now is going to hold on to fourth place. A good block there for Oppenheimer. Coming out of turn 4 now, Oppenheimer's got to focus on Walter White side by side for a moment there as we head to lap 12. Side by side again, Oppenheimer trying to use that bottom lane and pass Walter White, the driver he needs to pass in order to get into the championship race. Walter White has to do the best defense of his career. And exiting turn 2, they're side by side once again for third place. These two drivers fighting for a spot in the championship. And Walter White with a lot of defense here, and Hunt goes to the inside of Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer might lose a spot. He might lose his shot at a championship race as Hunt is on the inside of Oppenheimer. Coming out of turn 4, side by side as we head to lap 13. Hunt's trying to get on the bottom lane. The driver Hunt's against Ryan Reynolds is right behind him on his tail. Oppenheimer trying to chase down Walter White to get in the championship race. Ryan Reynolds trying to chase down Hunt to be in the championship race, but Vaughn Riley goes to the inside of Ryan Reynolds, ruining his shot at maybe passing Hunt and maybe getting in the championship race as they're side by side. Coming into turn 3, can Vaughn Riley ruin Ryan Reynolds' day here? And he will. Ryan Reynolds falls to 7th place. Now McQueen also threatening to pass Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds just needs to pass Hunt, but he might lose a position or two. But Ryan Reynolds is back up in the 6th place, back on that charge to Hunt, but he's lost some time to Hunt there. A big gap between them now. Oppenheimer to the inside of Walter White once again. This is a tremendous battle to try to get in the championship race. It just shows how much they want it. And Walter White, yet again, with a great block. Oppenheimer is going to need some help, and he needs to get past this Walter White defense. As we come out of turn 4 on the lap 15, currently Homelander in first place, LeBron in second. Both of them are in currently. Walter White currently in on third, but Oppenheimer is right behind him in fourth. Hunt in 5th place is also currently in the championship, but Oppenheimer is going to try to change that side by side with Walter White. He wants his spot in the championship race. Side by side, out of backstretch once again. This is finally the opportunity that Oppenheimer has. Hunt on the bottom, drafting with him. Walter White has had a great defense this entire race, but Oppenheimer will finally break through and finally gets to 3rd place. Now he's currently in the championship race. Now Hunt is side by side with Walter White. Hunt's trying to get some gap between him and Ryan Reynolds. And Walter White will lose 2 positions and maybe his shot at winning a championship this season as he drops to 5th place. Hunt now side by side with Oppenheimer for 3rd. Coming to turn 3, and Walter White's going to go to bottom lane and draft with Hunt. This is his shot to get back in the championship race, helping Hunt to try to pass Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer immediately almost losing the position. He does. And now Walter White and Oppenheimer Once again, what a great battle. Both these drivers wanting to get in the championship race. Both these drivers with wins. Two talented drivers. And Walter White will battle his way back in the championship briefly. But now Oppenheimer with a big burst of speed. It's not over yet. Coming out of turn 2, side by side with the championship spot on the line. Oppenheimer is looks like he's going to defend it there. He almost lost it there. Oppenheimer is still now currently in the championship. Your current drivers currently in the championship race. Homelander in first, LeBron in second, his teammate Hunt in third. Now Walter White side by side with Oppenheimer trying to get that 4th spot in the championship race. Ryan Reynolds has 2 cars between him and his target Hunt to get in the championship race. McQueen is up against LeBron, who's in second. Von Riley in 8th, who's up against Homelander, who's in first place. Both of them need to just get their shit together, as Homelander and LeBron James are nowhere to be seen. They are just far ahead of this pack here, as Walter White once again going on the inside of Oppenheimer, side by side between these two again. These two, what a great battle between both of them. Both talented drivers, but there's only one spot between the two of them for the championship race, as they're side by side once again. Every time you think this battle's over, they just keep going. And Walter White, with all this help on the bottom lane, he finally get past Oppenheimer. He does. And Walter White back in the championship race. But now Oppenheimer with some speed there on the top lane. This battle just keep going and going and going. And Oppenheimer with some speed coming into turn 3, side by side once again. Ryan Reynolds dressing with Walter White. McQueen with Oppenheimer, his teammate. And Walter White is going to pass Oppenheimer. Looks like, nope, they're still side by side. Every time I think they pass them, this battle just keeps on going, and Oppenheimer looks like he's finally going to end this battle here. Hold on to 4th place. Now McQueen on the inside of Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds trying to get Hunt there. A few cars between him and Hunt, but he's got to deal with McQueen first. McQueen on the inside of him. Ryan Reynolds looking to try to pass Walter White on the outside lane, but Ryan Reynolds has no help on that top lane. Everyone on the bottom lane. McQueen trying to pass Ryan Reynolds now, but Ryan Reynolds will hold on to his position. We now cut to the lead, and there's a huge gap between first and second to the rest of the pack. Homelander and LeBron James have been working together, which is a smart idea. If you're LeBron James, you're already in the championship race. You're just going to draft with Homelander, going through this lap traffic, 4 seconds ahead of 3rd place Hunt here. Hunt now side by side with Oppenheimer for 3rd place. They keep battling, and this just causes a bigger and bigger gap between them and 2nd place, as Walter White now on the inside of Oppenheimer once again. This battle has been going all day. Both these drivers want it here, but Oppenheimer is going to hold on here for now. As we head to lap 22, this just shows how much these drivers want it here. But these battles, man, I mean, they're slowing down themselves from the lead. They're now 4 seconds behind LeBron James and Homelander, as 3rd place on back has now just reached lap traffic. How will this change the order here? Will lap traffic cost someone a shot at the championship, as Hunt goes on the inside of May? No one wants to get held up by lap traffic. That might cost you some positions. Like if you're Oppenheimer, Walter White might pass you, and you just don't want that. As Hunt makes contact with Gustavo, bringing the lap traffic, hits Walter White, gets spun around into the grass in front of the field, hits May. Von Riley collecting as well. Oh my gosh, we have some drama at Texas. A lapped car just might have ended Hunt's shot at the championship. As we get back to the leaders, here's the race lead coming to the caution. Whoever gets this will lead under caution. Homelander first place, LeBron James in second. This is a chance to get a lead, but Homelander will lead us under caution. Homelander still in first place, led almost every lap. He gets spun around by LeBron James under caution, and the field comes around. LeBron James just spun around the defending champion of this series. Homelander led almost every single lap here today on his way to the championship race, but he just got dumped by LeBron James under caution here. He might have to pit. He might have damage. LeBron James, yeah, look at that side of the car. Homelander has damage. Oh, he's speeding up under caution. Oh my God, I think he's going after LeBron James. We got beef here at Texas, and he's going to hit Ryan Reynolds and Walter White. The fuck did they do to Homelander? Homelander, pissed off, goes after 2 drivers that did not wreck him this race and cost him a shot at championship. And we're getting word that Homelander is getting the black flag. He's coming to pit road. Rick Ryan's has seen enough. He is pitting Homelander and LeBron James just like that. Successfully rage baits Homelander. Homelander, our season 1 champion, led almost every single lap here today. Looked like he was going to go back to the championship race to defend his title. Now he's going down pit road with damage after LeBron James dumped the series champion, the defending champion, under caution. And Homelander caused damage to two other playoff drivers, Walter White and Ryan Reynolds. On top of that, Hunt wrecked into free and caused this whole mess in the first place. 4 of the 8 playoff drivers involved in wrecks in this caution. And there's a fight on pit road between LeBron James and Homelander's pit crew. It's got out of control. Multiple pit crews fighting here. Ryan Reynolds and Walter White's pit crews involved as well. Chaos on pit road. There's a red flag out. Red flag out at Texas. There's a massive fight on pit road between Homelander, LeBron, Ryan Reynolds, and Walter White's pit crews. And Homelander is just sitting and taking it in, smiling on pit road. Replay of the accident here. LeBron James dumps Homelander after the caution came out. LeBron dumps the leader. He dumps the defending champion. And Homelander's title hopes of retaining his championship, defending his championship, are gone. After the caution comes out, LeBron James goes to the inside blatantly just turns Homelander into turn 1, Lebowski into him. Then Willie Nelson, he's wrecked in front of the field. And then Homelander almost makes contact there. But Homelander, he wants revenge. He needs to just wreck somebody. He's gotta be pissed under that helmet and in that car. Homelander starts to speed up. He just needs to wreck anybody. He needs to get his anger out. He definitely wants to hit LeBron, but he's open to anybody. As Ryan Reynolds, just wrong place, wrong time. Same thing with Walter White. And he wrecks 2 different playoff drivers under caution.
To fucking die? you give your whole fucking life. What happens? People just tear you down. You stay back! All of you, stay back! You stay the fuck back or I'll laser you, goddammit! I'll laser every fucking one of you! Stay back!
Stop acting like you know the rules, Homelander. You're lost. You're getting the black flag. Your day's over. You've gone insane and attacked 2 different people.
I don't know. I'm just a silly guy at times.
Here we are again with Walter White. Here's a replay of what happened with Homelander. Homelander just speeding under caution. Ryan Reynolds, wrong place, wrong time, and Walter White just out of nowhere gets bumped by Homelander, sends him into Oppenheimer, actually. Homelander just sends Walter White into his own teammate, Oppenheimer, and it's just chaos under this caution. All that stuff we just showed you, that happened after caution, but let's see what happened and what brought out the caution. Another playoff driver, Hunt, involved here, as Gustavo Fring just blocks Hunt. Hunt and Fring go loose into the wall, and then Hunt gets bounced into Walter White, bounced to May, wrecks in front of the field. You know, if you're a leader in a race, you definitely don't want lap traffic to affect your race, especially if you're a playoff driver during the playoffs. But Hunt in third place, led multiple laps here today, but he just slams into the back of Fring there, and his day might be done. Loose into the wall. May, side by side with Ryan Reynolds. He thinks he just avoided this wreck, but Hunt spins into him, into the wall. May collected, and Vaughn Riley, another playoff driver, collected. Here goes Ryan Reynolds, another playoff driver, almost involved here, but he just barely misses. He might be one of the only playoff drivers to not be involved in one of these wrecks here. Another view of this wreck. Aerial view here. Hunt gets spun out, and Ryan Reynolds survives while May and Riley get collected. Drone shot of Gustavo Fring. Hunt's on the inside lane, trying to pass lap traffic, but Fring blocks way too late, sends them both into the wall. He collects multiple playoff drivers here, and Fring might have just decided playoffs.
Fucking Lord. Might have lost a few seconds in that.
Here we are with Vaughn Riley side by side with McQueen. Vaughn Riley also thinks he's free of this wreck. They wreck right in front of him, and Vaughn Riley just nowhere to go. Gets collected, and that's another playoff driver involved. We're back at Texas for Bucky's 500. Homelander's out of this race. The field's right behind Hunt, and Hunt will get out of pit road before the field comes. That's huge for him. Hunt's still going to lose a lot of positions. He's probably still out of it, but Hunt, you know, he at least stays on the lead lap. Maybe he'll have a massive comeback, but just, man, you got to feel for Hunt. Pole here today, led multiple laps, and now he's back in 29th. Back at Texas for Bucky's 500. Only LeBron and McQueen were the only two playoff drivers not involved in those two wrecks there. Everybody else was at least somewhat in those wrecks. Hunt is back in 29th place. Homelander, our defending series champion, is out of this race as LeBron James is side by side with Oppenheimer for the lead. LeBron James dumped Homelander out of the lead, dumped Homelander out of defending his championship. There will be a new champion season 2 as Walter White gets ahead of Oppenheimer, his target for this race. Oppenheimer trying to get past Walter White. 3 wide for second place between McQueen, Oppenheimer, and Walter White. McQueen trying to track down LeBron James. McQueen's target is LeBron James. He's side by side with his teammate Oppenheimer. Oh, I completely missed it. Oppenheimer passed Walter White in that 3 wide action. Oppenheimer was against Walter White this week to get into the championship race, and now Oppenheimer has passed Walter White. Now Oppenheimer is currently in the championship race. Now McQueen and Vaughn Riley passed Walter White. Walter White with a lot of damage on the back of his car, clearly affecting him from that Homelander wreck. Walter White for a brief second was in the championship race, but now all of these drivers are passing, and Walter White's championship hopes are going away after that wreck from Homelander. Heartbreaking for him. He's side by side with Vaughn Riley. Vaughn Riley was up against Homelander after LeBron James dumped Homelander from the lead. Vaughn Riley doesn't really need to worry about anything. Vaughn Riley is into the next round of the playoffs. Vaughn Riley side by side with Walter White. He hasn't got a single win. In fact, his team has not got a single win this season, but he's locked into the championship race basically. Homelander is out, so he's in the championship race, and he passes Walter White. This is just heartbreaking for Walter White, especially after his teammate Trout had a very similar experience last week at Pyongyang. He led and then his engine blew up. Just a hard playoff for Los Politomanos Racing. A lot of bad luck. Both times were under caution. That one of the drivers had some issue under caution. We're now with Ryan Reynolds in 6th place. He also clearly has some damage from that Homelander wreck. Like Walter White, he's just dropping like a rock. But for Ryan Reynolds, he doesn't really care. His target, Hunt, is back all the way in 29th place. And he's just going to let these drivers through. As long as he doesn't fall like 23 spots in 3 laps, Ryan Reynolds is into the next round of the playoffs. And here's Oppenheimer in 2nd place. Great battle with Walter White here today. After his teammate Homelander went to the back of Walter White, that affected Walter White's race, and he's dropped like a rock. Oppenheimer's probably next round of the playoffs. But his teammate, McQueen, is in 3rd place. Normally, you would love a top 3, get a podium in the Piston Cup Series, but McQueen is up against LeBron James, who's currently in 1st place in this race. LeBron James needs to hold on for 2 laps against McQueen. McQueen is drafting with his teammate Oppenheimer, trying to catch LeBron James, but LeBron James with a huge lead gets past the lap traffic there. LeBron is a 2.5 seconds ahead of 2nd place Oppenheimer. McQueen's going to make a lot of time if he wants to make it into the championship race as we enter turns 3 and 4. LeBron James' team, 2391 Racing, has never won a race before in the Piston Cup Series. LeBron himself has never won a race in the Piston Cup Series, but he's 1 lap away from his first career win. LeBron James 4 corners away from his first win. He was 2nd place most of the day, and then a controversial dump to Homelander gave LeBron James the lead. LeBron James dumped the defending champion Homelander out of this race, ending Homelander's hopes at a back-to-back championship. Will LeBron also dethrone him as the defending series champion? Are we officially in the LeBron's age, as LeBron James will win the Bucky's 500 at Texas, and LeBron James will fight for a championship? Hunt, the pole sitter, led the first 4 laps today. Then Homelander came in and led the next 19. And he will lead the most laps here today. But it's LeBron James, Hunt's teammate, that dumped him under caution and ultimately won him this race. LeBron will fight for a championship at Indy. There still might be a battle for the Drivers' Championship at Indy, but the Constructors is already locked up. Team USA Racing had a dominant season this season with 4 wins, 3 other drivers won races this season. Oppenheimer won Australia, then McQueen won Alaska, then Homelander, after 20 races of trying, got his first win at Rockingham, and then McQueen completed the 4 straight wins for Team USA Racing, the most back-to-back wins by one team, with McQueen's win at North Wilkesboro, a dominant and deserving championship for Team USA. Drone shot of LeBron James here, and he's pulled up to Homelander's stall, and LeBron James will do a burnout in Homelander's pit stall after dumping him earlier today. LeBron James defending his pit crew after Homelander's pit crew started a fight with him today. Homelander's pit crew was ultimately kicked out of the facility, and now LeBron James is just rubbing it in. Here were the playoff standings coming in here today, but which 4 drivers will make it to the championship race? Lightning McQueen had a great season, 2 wins this season, and he finished in 3rd place here today, but still not enough for McQueen to get in the next round of the playoffs. LeBron James dumped Homelander, causing LeBron to get his first career win. LeBron having an amazing playoffs, finished 3rd at North Korea, 1st here today. He's had a great recent streak. Will that continue into the championship? And like I said before, our defending champion Homelander was looking like he was going to win here today, looking like he was going to defend his championship in the championship race, but LeBron James dumping him ultimately got him out of this race, and Homelander will not fight for a championship. Instead, it's Vaughn Riley, the Crosshair Patronos Patriot Racing driver. His team haven't won since Season 1. He hasn't won himself since Bristol Square in Season 1. But can he end the streak? Can he end the drought for Crosshair Patronos Patriot Racing and get them a win in a Drivers' Championship? He gets a 5th place here today, good enough to get him into the championship race. Hunt started off strong. He got the pole, led the first 4 laps. He was still in the top 3, but then he ran into the lap traffic, Gustavo Fring. That ended his day. That ended his championship hopes. Hunt will finish on a lead lap, but he finished in 29th place, while Ryan Reynolds will finish in 8th place, and the Daytona 500 champion is going to go to the championship race. And finally, it's probably the best battle here today. It kept switching back and forth throughout this race, but Oppenheimer will ultimately get in over Walter White. Walter White had 2 wins this season, looking like he might have made the championship race, but that damage from Homelander cost him his shot at a championship this season. Oppenheimer will defeat Heisenberg.